Hello again and welcome to another supposedly exciting broadcast of Warframe gameplay. This week I'm going to try and run through a load of Void Relic missions to hunt a lot of Ducats to spend at Baro as he is on the Chronia relay this week. Feel free to comment, chat, like or subscribe as I play through, and if you've got any recommendations for other missions you want played, please let me know. Now, my personal recommendation for doing any kind of Void Relic mission is make sure you put it on public. Because although you may not have the relic that you want to use, someone else may well have. So if, for instance, you had a terrible Lith relic and someone else had one that was radiant or even anywhere in between, I believe a flawless, then you might stand a better chance of getting a better mod or part that you've been after for some time. So here we go. Going through the missions, obviously they go from difficulty, so Lith is your tier 1, as it used to be called from the old system, then Meso or Meso is the second tier, and then Neo is the third, and Axi is the fourth, and then you've got these lovely Requiem ones at the bottom that are even more difficult than any of the others. And they tend to use a special relic known as the Requiem relics, and they give out things like Fass, Vom, and some of the other weird things that you need for this little character down here that you see at the bottom. So these are what's known as a Kuva Leech. This is the first one I've ever encountered in this game, and I've played it for nearly 7 years. Still haven't figured out his Requiem yet to unlock him or to defeat him, but I haven't really bothered, to be fair. It's a kind of a pointless feature, but there we go. Someone else will probably tell otherwise. Please do, as I would love to know how it really works. But other than that, without further ado, I am going to get on with doing one of these missions. And again, normally the easier ones to go for would be the Lith missions, and excavation is quite easy because you get things like cryotic, which is a valuable resource in this game, and also you do 2 relics, or rather 2 excavation points, and then you unlock the first relic. You do another two points, you unlock another relic, and it keeps going until everyone's got bored, or until you can't get enough reactant between 2 stations. And this one, I believe you can get quite a lot of decent materials there. You see, like I've selected the T4 relic, that could give me Titania Prime systems. Do I really need it? The joy of this system is you can mouse or use your controller to roll over each of those parts, and it will tell you whether you've got any and what ones you might need to collect. So you see I've got no Titania parts, so I'm going to upgrade the relic and put it onto Radiant. And then I'm going to select that one for the mission. Those loading screens are always great fun when you see all the different ships people have. But then after that it gets pretty dull. Oh, and look, someone's already started the mission. As you can see, from the counters have already started. So we want to go to an A, which is obviously these go by letters for these excavation points. But one golden trick is not to keep going too far into the map to get some of these power cells like I've just picked up, which gives you 20 power each time, because what will then actually happen is you'll start off another excavator and another excavator and another excavator. So you see it's just showed up yellow on the map, that's showing 412 metres away. Don't go to that one. You do not want to start another one until the first one is at least finished. Otherwise what then happens is then you get loads of cryotic, but you don't do the 2 that you need to then unlock your reactant. Sorry, unlock your relic from that reactant. And as you can see there on the...
Dig
oh,
complete.
okay, it's
Your
complete.
hard drive has
But on
just
most of the
been lowered.
excavators, they've got an energy level, and the more of these power cells you pump into it, the more chance that you'll be able to keep the shield at max. You don't necessarily have to keep feeding it, because it will stay full at the bottom of the excavator screen. But I would recommend doing it, because then what you basically mean is it always puts it at full health, full shield. So then enemies then can't take down
Relic has been cracked
the
open.
thing you've worked so hard
Finish
to
your
get.
mission to find out what's inside.
As you can see there, that's the night wave mission I've got to do, so use melee kills on 150 enemies. Should be quite easy on an activate mission. Just got to remember to keep using melee rather than using the com. It's my favourite shotgun in the game. I know there's better ones, but it's just the all-round decent weapon that I found that I really thoroughly enjoy.
Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site.
And you see on the map there's two yellow icons at the lower end of the map. That is power cells, so if ever you're in doubt, you know where they're going to be. So when you're scrambling about as you get to the higher levels for power cells, they show up on the map, which is a lot more handier. The only downside is it doesn't show the enemies that carry them.
Excavator is ready to go.
As you can see there is an enemy now, a Grenier power carrier. How obvious is that now?
We need another power cell for the excavator. The excavator has lost power. Find another cell. Excavator deployed. Protect the unit while it extracts the artifact. Look what we just uncovered. Extraction is available. Choose.
And here you see how much Ducats you can earn from selling each one of these. Much of a muchness, what I tend to do out of niceties is to select the one that I haven't earned myself, and that way it gives the other person a few void relic points. Or void traces, I believe they call them. It's not absolutely essential. It's always helpful. Now I have no idea why someone's gone to the exit mission.
The excavator has run out of power. Find the cell.
Especially as I said earlier, you can get very high levels on this mission and just keep rerunning them. As you've just seen, I was able to select another relic for them to continue.
Excavator destroyed. The remaining dig sites.
So by the look of it, I think everyone's trying to exit this mission early. Apart from Plaza 25.
An artifact has been located. Proceed to the dig site. Excavator is ready to go. Keep it powered and protected from enemy fire. We need another power cell for the excavator. Excavation complete. Looks found. The excavator has run out of power. Find a cell. The scanner has picked up a... Go to the dig site.
And hopefully, as you can see from the other people, we're deliberately not picking up any power cells. Taking far more reactant from some of the enemies. And as you're not giving it any more power, they then can't progress any further. But as long as you're near it, you're then saving away the enemies that could potentially cause you to fail or lose that excavator.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside. The excavator has lost power. Find another cell.
And the downside to excavator missions, they can get very boring. Almost as boring as my voice.
Look what we just uncovered.
So right there, 15 Ducats or 15 Ducats. I'll pick the other one. Just to help out the other player. Then for this, because there's only 2 of us left in the mission, I'm going to choose no relic. Which then normally indicates to most people, yeah, I'm done with this mission. To the exit. And if you've done your maths, I've got 45 Ducats from the other part, 15 from this one, that leaves me with 60. Most of the bits you need from Baro Teer this week, he's doing the Smite primed mods that work for most of the enemy factions, so Smite Corrupted, Infested, Grineer and Corpus. I believe they're usually about 300 Ducats, or cheaper. But the other thing they really do cost is credits. And as you can see there, 300,000 credits might get me some. So what I'll show you now is another way that isn't guaranteed every time, but is a good way to make a lot of money quickly. So, as I know my Warframe can do it, I would do friends only, or I would do public for this part. And the mission you want to go for, that I can never remember, I believe is located on Neptune, called the Index Endurance. And I always choose the first one. There's no need to go tougher than that, because you invest 30,000 and normally you'd get about 100,000 back. So this is a way where I can make a lot of money very quickly. And these missions, normally you have to get up to 50 points for your team, or your team gets 50 points combined, and there's 4 people on the team. So if there's 4 players, they'll all be occupied spaces by players, otherwise they fill the rest with what some people call ads, or the AI. And then the other team is all AI characters, so 4 players, 4 characters will all be AI. And it's done that fun thing where it puts you into a game and then thinks, oh yeah, you immediately want this game. Oh, what now? Okay, you best wait. So I'm going to force it into the mission now, solo, and hope someone else joins in. But again, as I said, these missions, it's normally 4 AI characters that you'll be up against, and as their corpus you'll get your standard corpus enemies, but you'll also get things like some of the links, which is a miniature jackal basically, and the jackal is the boss you face on Fissures that then gets you the rhino parts to then build rhino. But as you can see, I believe there's a mag, a Wukong and a Volt Spectre that normally occupy the other 3 slots for you. There you go, you've got a mower to fight them. But the idea behind this is to pick up the green floating discs that drop, gems I guess you could call them. And as you've just seen, they also drop some decent mods as well. So they're definitely worth doing these missions, if only for the mods. And basically this is more like capture the flag, where you then have to collect all the tokens from the enemy players and bring them back to your players, the enemies tower. And obviously take down the other players when they're running back from your tower. And the more you carry, the more bonus points you can get from doing so. But as you've probably seen, my health starts going down the more I'm carrying, because it's what they call an impedance, because you're carrying so many. It's basically a currency that I can't remember for the life of me now what they call it. But it was a way where they then say, oh look, here you go, you're going to lose something. Some of those turrets fire out of nowhere, which is really amusing, because then you don't get any points for taking them out. There you go. You only had to get up to 50 points. And you've just earned a very easy £100,000. Some of you eagle-eye viewers are probably going to say, oh well, how did you say 100,000? You've got 488,000 at the moment. Luckily, 22 minutes left of a credit booster, so it doubles my earned credits. And that's what I've got running at the moment. Now we're going to Saturn to see what stuff we can buy from Baro Teer. You're probably wondering why I jump so often. I find Rhino so ridiculously slow, it's just more fun just to jump about like a Looney Tune.
My latest safari in the void has yielded spectacular finds. Unique items for the Tenno of distinction.
Well, that's looking amusing. I haven't got one of those already. Let's buy one.
A pleasure doing business with you, Tenno. Perhaps you'll come to one of my next parties?
There you go, find a fresh point. Already got one, don't need one of those. Although, how many do I have? One owned. I should buy another one really, because it would really help out. So for instance, on some of your parts, such as the Sentinels, they have a melee weapon. So then that way you've then got two decent mods. But do I go for that? I don't know. Because there's also these that I don't actually own at all. But again, that's only a 55% increase, and you've got to guarantee you know what mission you're going into next. Machete Wraith, I could get that. Have I ever mastered one? Volcar Wraith, or Volcar Wraith, I've never mastered one. Should I get one? Zylock, I have mastered it, so I don't need it. And as I said last week, you really shouldn't bother with parts that you've already mastered, because then all you're going to do is waste your credits. And it's all valuable experience on parts that you don't already have. Volcar sniper rifle, anyone? That sounds like good fun. The Machete Wraith is not a bad weapon actually. As you can see, there's the slash is already quite high, and that's before even applying any of the fun mods that you can apply. So I'm going to get one of those.
An excellent choice. Be sure to visit again when I have new finds.
And sometimes I just wish they'd show you where the booths are to actually sell some of your parts. Because otherwise all you're doing is walking around aimlessly. A little clue, they're usually just behind Baro Teer, and they also tell you when he's due to leave again. Sell 2 of those because I only need the one to buy or build another Lex Prime. But do I really need to build another one? No, but that's always tradable to someone else who I know that might need one. Limbo Prime Systems should definitely be worth more than 15 Ducats, but according to that it's only 15 and I think it should be 100. Mesa Prime Neuroptics, however, 100 Ducats, can't see why. I don't even like using her that much. So as you can see, what I'm doing at the moment is going through all my duplicate parts and selling those, because we don't really need duplicates too much. And already in a matter of moments, I've got enough Ducats to buy something else from Baro. But now the other problem you have is, have I got enough credits to buy that part?
I can tell you will appreciate what I have today.
Local Reef, definitely not. 140,000 for any of those. Can't say I actually need any of them, to be fair, or want them. The only one I would say is the Smite Corrupted, because they are obviously normally higher ended enemies anyway that you might find on the likes of the Void. So you just go into your inventory, look through your mods. Simplest way to make easy money just with stuff you've already got that you don't need to worry about is selling the duplicate mods. And I tend to leave 3 of each. And that should give me enough for what I need. As I only needed 17,000 or so.
Well, hello, Golden Warrior. Just back from the Void, I presume.
And that is basically Baro this week. Sometimes Baro sells some very good mods, such as Primed Flow and Primed Continuity, and as you saw there, Primed Pressure Point, but this week isn't that good a week. But you will get things such as the Tenacon, which is a thing that the developer do once a year, where they then say, okay, we're going to have Baro Teer land there for a couple of days, and if people buy the pass, which I've never dared to, but normally the pass would then give you access to Baro Teer's full inventory for 2 days. entirely sure on my next target mission. Even the sorties look a bit boring this time. So do you think I've got enough cash? No, because it's 30,000 minimum. So now one of the simplest ways to do argon farming is make sure you have a smeater equipped, which is the, well, we call it a cavat, but it is in fact just a cat. So I use that cavat, and I've changed my loadout, but I'm not a massive fan of it, Equinox, so I'm now going to change to Mars Prime.
Angry. I may require maintenance after all.
Now Equinox has the Rest and Rage, which I covered last week, but Inaros in fact has Desiccation, which basically does the same kind of thing. It stuns the enemies and you can then do one-hit kills on them, which makes the game a little bit easier, and it's even more amusing when you try and use it on things such as Corpus or Corrupted in the Void region. Especially when you're using Smeater, because then you've got double the chance or higher chances of earning Argon crystals through doing missions, and the easiest one I tend to rinse through is an Exterminate on Teshub. Not too taxing, but it's just a nice breeze through mission.
The tower's neural sentry is operational. I'm picking up multiple threats, all under Orokin control. Wipe them all out. The tower's neural sentry has turned these soldiers into mindless attack drones. You need to take them out.
Now as you can see, I've got Thieves' Wit and a few other mods on my main frame and my Sentinel or my Cavat that actually help me farm materials, because then they show up on the map. And you'll see a lot of them show up on the map when you're in the right region. And you can see I favour using the map. I can't believe what the map is actually called, but it's an overhead where it shows a lot more of the map rather than the map that shows up in the top left. There's a lot of items that I can potentially break or open to get to the parts. But again, as I said earlier, it's not guaranteed that you'll get Argon crystals on this mission, but I've just got 2. You're probably thinking, you're lunatic, why do you keep on blowing up the volatile containers? It's because they don't take off that much health, but they just break all the boxes for you. Then you haven't got to sit there and melee attack each and every crate that you see. And now I've got the Orokin sentries shooting at me. I suppose I should shoot that at some point. But again, that's the joy of using an Ars. As his shields are so high, because he doesn't use shield, he uses health only. And I've seen some builds on some forums and build sites where they actually managed to get his health all the way up to about 10,000, which is more than enough for pretty much most of the missions in the whole game. Even at the still path difficulty. Here we have a little treasure room. Basically run to the end as quick as you can. This one always catches me out, just because of the way the capture lands. Especially when I do a move like that. Through that last door, and we've done it. Seeing quite a few mods show up, some gold rarity mods, but for the most part nothing too exciting. And a same accord tone, if ever you need to know what they look like, they look like that. As a general rule of thumb on this mission, break everything you see. Because you never know what could be hiding in our crystal, or any other resources that you're trying to gather. All I do is all swamping me. Like I said, use restoration. Here we have another of those fun rooms again. Just shoot that. Yeah, break a load of the crates. Always handy to pick up an Ayrton Star. Whoops.
And they are on the run. Another successful
mission complete.
Find extraction.
For the sake of 10 more enemies, I'm going to hang this mission. If I can find 10 more enemies. Oh, there you go. 5 more to go.
Many things have been taken from us, it's true. But fortune favors the bold. And there ain't none so bold as people with nothing to lose.
And there you have it. In the matter of 13 minutes I've managed to earn 6 Argon Crystals. Now, Argon Crystals are a special resource that decay over time. Think of them like radioactive source, where they actually have a half-life. And it's normally 24 hours. So if you've got 6 today, tomorrow you'd have 3. And then the day after you'd have next to none. So they're only worth farming for once you've got everything else you need for a part. And I believe they're used on quite a few neuroptics on the prime parts. And some of the other weapons that are used in the game. Some of the parts that need them are usually quite hard to locate off the bat, but there you go, they're foaming. So I've got 9 Argon Crystals, and I need to farm some more Hexanon. So now you come back to your world map on the navigation, or I say world map, it should be your solar map. and look to which planet might give you Hexagon, which I believe is Jupiter or Europa, but it's been a while since I've had to farm these. So there you go, Hexagon, and just do a lot of exterminate missions.
Eliminate all corpse threats. My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Now, don't go shooting those green barrels, because you get gas damage. As I said before, they're kind of like the volatile containers. If you want to take out a lot of enemies nearby or smash some crates, they're the way to do it. They don't take off too much health, as you can probably tell. Which, as you've just seen, I've got the health back instantly by taking out one enemy. Have we got any Hexagon yet? Not that I can see, because it's quite a hard resource to farm. Now, annoyingly on this mission, I've just clocked there's 3 corpus caches to find. Can we be bothered to find them? Probably not. But they do look very much like these standard chests or lockers, but they tend to be glowing with a white hue around them. And thanks to using mods like Thieves' Whip, they'll actually show up just like any other resource that you can farm on the planet or map. Well, that was lucky. I don't think I missed any.
talkers are heading to your location.
As you can see, that door's locked. So what you normally want to look around for is a smashable crate. Or grate. And I'm not seeing one, which is really annoying. And look at that, still no hex mod. Still no hexagon. Another locked door, would you look at that? Can't even face for it as an operator. Oh, when you see LD turn up there, you'll start seeing so many enemies with a name above them that says Amalgam. That's where you get some of the Amalgam mobs from the game. And there's also some other mods, like you saw the motors, that they tend to drop as well. Obviously, as with everything else in this game, it's not guaranteed, but it's a nice little bonus if you do get it. And there you have it. There's one of these white lockers. It's a corpus cache.
You found the first resource cache. I'm detecting 2 more faint hints.
In case I didn't say earlier, if your health is really running low with an RF, he's got his second ability, which is Devour, which literally does that. It means you can devour an enemy, or their health. It works really well on some enemies, but do have a bit of health between them. And what happens after that is they then fight for your side for a few seconds when they're resurrected. And look at that, still no hexen. Still apparently no hexenol.
Broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
Now, I could hang around in this mission and farm even more hexagon, but it's already got boring. What I will say is this part of the map is great fun because you have to run all the way through that corridor and then drop down to complete it. And I think that'll conclude the broadcast for this week. So I'll say thanks for joining and hope to speak to you again soon.